Hi, my name is Jen. I'm 20 years old and I am from Massachusetts in the United States. Before I start my video, I just want to point out that for some reason my camera has this weird blue tint thing going on lately. I don't know what's up with that, so that's why this whole picture is has like a blue tint to it. So that's just that, but just wanted to throw that out there. So I'm making a video for the I'm Just Human project. I have generalized anxiety disorder, and I was diagnosed with it about 5 years ago. I was officially diagnosed when I was a sophomore in high school, and I know that I've definitely had it my whole life. I mean, maybe not to the extent, or maybe it was worse when I was younger, I don't know, but I know that I've definitely been dealing with it my entire life, or for a majority of it. And like even my dad would say to me, he's like, "Oh yeah, when you were a kid, I could totally tell that you had severe social anxiety and da 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 da." It's like, great, thanks for doing something about that. But so generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD, I'm just gonna refer to it as GAD because it's quicker to say. It's kind of it's really hard to explain, is what it is, but it's kind of always expecting the worst, regardless of like the signs. It's just impending doom, just this sense of impending doom, always. Like, for example, today I have to leave for work in about 20 minutes, which I have been having anxiety about for, let's see, when did I last work? Saturday? Yeah, I've been having anxiety about this since Saturday because my job just, it's not even the job itself, it's just going to work. I've been working there since December and I still have severe anxiety before every single shift. And I couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just because like like I said, I have social anxiety, and the social anxiety is I work in retail and I work at Lush Cosmetics, and not everybody knows what that is, but if you do, you know that we have to be like severely interactive with our customers, and for me that's just really hard. So when I have like my boss breathing down my neck, and like I mean, it's not even that she's breathing down my neck, it's just like I know that she's watching me, and that makes me super nervous because I constantly panic that I'm going to get fired because of my social anxiety is just going to ruin yet another thing in my life. Let's see, what else? I have a lot of physical symptoms because of it as well. It hasn't been recently, but I used to get headaches a lot. Sometimes I'll still get them, severe headaches. Sometimes I get nauseous. If something really bad happens, like, I didn't want to have to bring this up, but it's a really good, like, example of this. When my ex and I broke up about 2 months ago, we were together for, like, a year and a half, pretty much, about. And so I didn't take the breakup well, obviously. It wasn't something, like, we weren't just together for a couple months. It was an elongated relationship. So after we broke up, I had severe anxiety because of it, and I pretty much tried to drop out of life, but that's a whole other topic that I'm going to go into when I'm done describing the symptoms that I have. So after that, for the first 2 weeks, I just couldn't eat. I just had severe anxiety and constant worry and panic and just overall sadness, I mean, obviously. But so when I get severe anxiety, I can't eat, and I ended up losing 10 pounds because of it, and that's not a way that I want to lose weight. And when people ask me, "Oh, you've lost so much weight, how do you do it?" It's like, oh, well, something really shitty happened in my life, so I had severe anxiety about it and couldn't eat for a week. That's not exactly a diet you should try or want to try. It's shitty. So like that, yeah. So that, I mean, that's not even the first time that's happened to me. Just anytime something really bad happens to me, I can't eat, and I lose a significant amount of weight because of it. Because you're just, like, it's not that I don't want to eat, I do, but I don't eat, because I know if I eat, I'm just gonna feel nauseous and then just feel sick for the rest of the day. So I would rather, I don't even, it's, I don't even really feel hungry when I have the anxiety either. Like, I know that I am, but I don't have that, like, feeling that you get when you're hungry. So I just, like, I try to force myself to eat something small, but I have no appetite, no desire to eat or any of that. Um, I have a lot of trouble sleeping too. Like when I was younger, before I started taking sleeping pills, I have to take sleeping pills to sleep, or I won't sleep throughout the night, and I'll be exhausted all the time. And as it is, I'm already tired all the time because I tire myself out with the constant gears turning in my head, like worrying, thinking, overthinking, going over every single detail of something that has happened. Like, I still go over every single detail of something traumatic that has happened to me that happened like 3 years ago. I'll still go over it. I'll just obsess over it, just monotonously. And I wish that I knew how to not do that, but yeah, back to the sleeping. So that's another thing too. I lose my train of thought so easily. Like, I'll be talking and then just all of a sudden mid-sentence I'm like, what was I just saying? And that, like, it makes me seem like I feel like I look retarded when I do that. And that, like, my brain isn't capable of staying on the right track. Yeah, so the sleeping, I have to take sleeping pills now, otherwise I won't sleep. But when I was younger, when I didn't start taking them yet, I had severely interrupted sleep. I would either never hit REM, or I would wake up in the middle of the night several times. And disturbed sleep is not that much better than not sleeping at all, honestly. Like, but now, thankfully, the sleeping pills that I have now actually allow me to sleep throughout the night. And I'm so sick of people saying to me, don't take sleeping pills. Sleeping pills are bad for you. Don't take sleeping pills. Da, 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 da. All right, well, why don't you deal with what I've been dealing with and not sleep and have interrupted sleep and be tired every single day? Every single day, all day. And then you can say, don't take sleeping pills. Then you can, because I hate it. Just stop. That's another thing too. I can't stand when people say, don't take medication, it's not a permanent fix. Alright, I understand that it's not a permanent fix, but like, if it's gonna help you feel better and like deal with things and function normally, then take them. I don't think there's anything wrong with having to take medication. Like, everyone always goes on about how people don't take mental illnesses seriously and they always just write it off. Well, that's doing the same thing when you're telling somebody not to take medication. You're just writing off, like, that as an option and saying, I mean, I understand that you should see a therapist or whatever and try to, like, actually get through the things, but that's not even... The problem with generalized anxiety disorder and other anxiety disorders is it's a chemical imbalance in the brain. So you can see as much therapy, go to as much therapy as you want, and do as many breathing techniques and this, that, and the next thing as you want, but there's still going to be that chemical imbalance. And that's the thing. That's where when you take the medication, it levels out, and that it helps you. Like, right now I'm taking Wellbutrin, and it's not really working for me. And I need to call my doctor to switch, but I have also severe phone anxiety, so I keep putting it off, calling the doctor, and suffering each day because the medication I'm taking is not working for me. And it's just a vicious cycle. There's something I was saying. See, I can't even. There was something I was saying before about the physical symptoms, but I don't remember what it was. It was something though. But I think the thing that bothers me the most is when people tell me, oh, you're too young to have anxiety. That's not a thing. That's like telling somebody, like, oh, you're too young to feel a certain way, you're too young, I don't know, like, I can't really think of a good example, but it's like, that's not a thing. You can't tell somebody that they're too young to have anxiety. That's completely, like, writing it off, and that doesn't help. That makes things feel worse, because then when you tell somebody that you don't think that they're old enough to have anxiety, you think they're too young to have anxiety, you think that they overthink, they need to just stop and relax and whatever and just stop worrying about it. It's not that simple. I'm seriously, I'm getting anxiety sitting here right now talking about all of this. It's not that simple. You can't just stop worrying about it. That's not an option. Believe me, I have tried. For me, at least, it's not an option. I don't know how to not worry about things. I really have no clue how to not, I see other people, and when something that triggers me to have anxiety and it doesn't trigger them, I'm like, how, I don't even, this doesn't process right now, because to me, the norm is to freak out. To me, that is what's normal. That is normal behavior. And, so when people are trying to tell you, you don't, you just need to stop worrying and calm down and da-da-da-da, it's that doesn't help. That makes us not want to tell anybody. When I'm having anxiety, when something bad happens, whatever, I try to talk to people about it, but for me, the thing is, I need to be constantly reassured. I need constant reassurance, and that's also why I can't do relationships. I'm awful in relationships. Nobody wants to deal with me, because I need constant reassurance that you're not going to leave me, you're not going to break up with me. I need constant reassurance, and it's annoying, and I can understand why nobody wants to deal with me. I totally get it. I've gotten a lot better with relationships since high school, obviously, because I'm more mature now. I've grown a lot since then, and I can handle my anxiety a lot better than I could in high school. But it's still just really hard to do relationships, especially because all of my past relationships, they've just dipped because of my anxiety, or they couldn't deal with it. They didn't even want to deal with it. They wanted nothing to do with it after a certain point, after trying to reassure me, oh yeah, no, I can deal with the anxiety, it's not a big deal, da 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 da, and then they just leave, and people wonder why when they say that to me. I'm entirely skeptical. It's because I don't believe anybody when they tell me that they're going to be able to handle my anxiety. I really have absolutely no faith in that at all, and that sucks. That I'm 20 years old and I have no faith that I'm ever going to find somebody who's going to stick around. And I hate it. And I wish that I didn't feel that way, but I do. Losing my train of thought again, son of a bitch. Yeah, but so when, I was saying, when people just kind of write your anxiety off, you don't want to tell somebody. I know, I was trying to say before, and then I totally got distracted. When I have anxiety, I want to talk to somebody, but like I said, I need the constant reassurance, so I feel like after a while I can feel them starting to get annoyed with me, because they've said the same thing to me, and I still have to keep going back to hear it because I need it. I need to hear it. And they just get annoyed, and I feel bad, so then I don't even bother. I don't bother to deal, or to even bother. I don't want to bug them. I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to be a pest in anybody's life. I always feel like I am such a burden on everybody. I feel like everybody hates me constantly. I have constant fear that everybody hates me. I feel like my boss hates me. I feel like my coworkers hate me. I even constantly feel like my own best friend hates me. I feel like my parents hate me. I feel like my other friends hate me. I feel like people who don't even know me hate me, which that's a possibility, because that's just a human thing. People just do that, but it's just, it sucks so much to feel like this constantly. It's such a burden, such a weight on your shoulders. I get severe muscle aches from the anxiety. That's why I always carry a big thing of ibuprofen with me, because my arms start to ache severely to the point where I will cry because it hurts so bad. My legs will start to ache like that. My shoulders tensen up. I can't even tell you how many knots I have in my back. I am in desperate need of a back massage right now. It's so bad. I'm severely irritable. So irritable. I'm so pissy all the time. The littlest thing will piss me off, and I know that it's because of the anxiety, and it sucks, but I am so pissy and irritable and just easily annoyed all the time. And I really don't want to ever bother anybody with this. I don't want to put it on them, because I feel like they don't want to hear it, that they don't want anything to do with it. It's just, to them, it's just whatever. and that they just write me off as crazy or psychotic. And then, like, I try to explain to my coworkers about my social anxiety and why work is so hard for me and it's such a struggle, but yet I'm there because I know that if I don't force myself to socialize and go out and do things, that I'm gonna end up a introvert and just never leave my house. And I don't want to be that, because staying in the house gives me anxiety. I know that going out and doing stuff helps with the anxiety. As much as going out does give me anxiety, it's better than sitting in the room and letting it just eat at you, because at least when you're distracting yourself, you're not constantly worrying about it. My god. That's another thing too. If like something happens to me, I'll get all flushed, my face will get all red, my chest will get all splotchy and red, and that's super embarrassing. And going back to the social anxiety, whenever I'm in public, like at work, for example, when I'm going from my job to the food court, because I work in a mall, to get something to eat on my break. Sorry, I have to keep checking the time because work, I have to leave soon, but I always feel like everyone's staring at me and judging me, and the tattoos and piercings that I have don't help, which I know that's my own thing, but I love tattoos and piercings, and I'm not gonna not get them because other people disapprove. But I know that a lot of people are probably just looking because they like think my tattoos are cool, or it's just like, it's always like, I don't know, like when you see somebody who's different, you always kind of, it's just a human thing to just look and be like, oh, like not even judge. It's not even like a judgmental thing. It's just, I know when I see somebody who's different, I always just look, but I'm not doing it to be judgmental. I'm usually admiring them. But I hate it, and whenever I hear laughter, I feel like people are laughing at me. I feel like as I walk by, people are talking about me, and I hate so much when random guys talk to me. I hate it because it gives me such anxiety, because I just freak out, and I don't think that I'm interesting or captivating in any way. And so when people try to like message me on Facebook and talk to me, I'm like, this person's not going to respond. Or when they don't respond, I'm like, they didn't respond because I'm not interesting, I'm not captivating in any way, I'm boring and bland. And just super hard on myself all the time, obviously, which you've seen throughout this video. But I don't even know. I feel like I've just barely barely even gotten on the cusp of like describing this whole thing, because it's just so, there's so much, and it's so hard to describe, it's so hard to talk about, because I don't think I feel like nobody gets it, unless like there are those few people who I like genuinely know that they get it, because I can feel that they also have the GAD, and that's nice when I can find that. But then there are other people who that's another thing too, is when people who try to understand, they tell you like, when they're like, because you know, it's a human thing, everybody feels anxiety, they don't feel anxiety to the extent that people with GAD do. But I hate when people get all pissed off and upset when somebody tries to just, like, relate to them. Like when somebody says, oh yeah, I have anxiety over that too, or, you know, this has bothered me, and da-da-da-da. Okay, they're just trying to relate to you. They're just trying to help and talk to you. Don't just shit all over them, because I hate when people say that, oh, they don't get it. Don't tell somebody with generalized anxiety disorder that you get it when you don't. Da, da, da. That's such bullshit. That's like telling somebody with generalized anxiety disorder, you don't have anxiety, you're too young to have anxiety, you're overreacting, you need to get over it. Da, da, da. Just, this person's just trying to help you. They just want to relate. They're trying to understand. So don't shit all over them for it. That's awful. I hate that. Like, I know everybody doesn't get it, and I understand, and not everybody is going to get it, but don't just completely shut them down. At least they're trying. Like, that just annoys me so much. I don't even know what else to talk about. It's just such a burden. It's so hard, like, feeling like anxious all freaking day long and worrying about every little thing. Every little thing bothers me. I'm worrying right now about my drive to work. I'm worrying about parking in the parking garage because it's a zoo. I'm worried about going into Tivana to get tea before work because I hate having to interact and socialize with people, and because I'm in there a lot, they always talk to me, and then I'm sitting there, like, panicking over every little thing that I'm saying because I'm thinking, like, oh my god, I'm saying this, and I probably sound like a moron, and da-da-da-da, and it's just, enough is enough. It's just so fucking much. So I'm worrying about that. I'm worrying about having to talk to people at work today. I'm worrying about my manager being there and watching me, and you know, just, I'm worried about getting fired because I don't think I'm good enough to do my job. I'm worried about the drive home because I have to leave at 6 and I work near Boston and traffic's gonna be awful. And I'm worried about just, that's just the stuff I'm worried about with my job. There's a whole bunch of other shit that I'm worried about too, but that's just on the back burner for right now until the job stuff's over. That's the thing too. When you worry about something, you worry about it until it happens or it doesn't happen, and then it's not like you have that nice relief where it's like, oh, I worried about that, it's over now, da da da. You fucking worry about whatever else you put on the back burner. It's just a vicious cycle of constant worrying about things, and it's but I'm just stressing myself out like right now so bad, so I'm gonna go, and I hope that this gave you some sort of insight to GAD if you don't have it, or if you do have it, hopefully you can relate, and if you can, or if you can't, whatever, just totally comment down there, and I will respond to you guys, and yeah, so if you're having an anxiety problem, just comment down there, and I will talk to you, and you know, hopefully comfort you in some sort of way, or at least offer some sort of comfort, or just even support, just even listening. It's not even always just having somebody tell you something, it's just having somebody listen is just nice sometimes too, so, alright, so that is that. There's probably like way more that I haven't even gotten into, but this video is already 20 minutes long, and I do have to leave for work, so... Alright, thank you guys for watching. I really hope nobody judges me for this video. That's another thing. Worrying about that. So I guess that's it for now. And thank you guys for watching. And like I said, feel free to leave a comment, but don't say mean things, because then I'm going to obsess about it for the next week. Bye guys.